Now I was continuing to the disadvantage. In this process, there is a great wastage of pollen grains. So the disadvantage of this cross pollination is that there is the wastage of pollen grains in a heavy amount. Due to genetic recombination during meiosis, there are chances of eliminations of good qualities and additions of unwanted characteristics in offspring. What is that? Due to genetic recombination. The recombination of genetic during meiosis, which are the chances of elimination of good qualities and addition of unwanted characteristics in offspring. So this was the disadvantage, and we have studied about the difference between self pollination and cross pollination. Now we are going towards our agents of pollination. Now there are types of cross pollination which are being known as that they need biotic or abiotic agents like animals, birds, winds, insects, water and other agents as pollinator. So the first is being pollination by insects. Pollination by insects. This is also known as zoophily. Pollination by insects is also known as zoophily. In this, insects like honeybees, wasps, moths, and butterflies visit flowers for nectar. While collecting nectar, some pollen grains stick to the body of these insects. When these insects visit another flower, the pollen grains are brushed off, some of which fall on stigma. So these are the pollinating agent, or you can say the pollinators, which help in the cross pollination, like honeybees, wasps, moths and butterflies. When they sit on the flower to suck the nectar from the flower, that time the pollen grains stick into their body, and when then again sit on another flower to suck the nectar, that time the sticked pollen grains are brushed off, or you can say fall down on that flower stigma. Likewise, this pollination by insects happen. Now, characteristics of insects pollinated flowers. It ensures that insects visit them. The insect pollinated flowers have nectaries that produce a large amount of nectar. They have a very sweet and bright colors, petals, or you can say their stigma is should be sticky, and sticky pollen grains also. So the characteristics of insect pollinated flowers have, they have a very sweet smell, they have a bright color flower, they have a nectaries that produce nectar, they have the sticky stigma, or you can say the sticky pollen grains. Now animals play an important role in plant reproduction. They help in seed dispersal. They help in seed dispersal also. In this seed dispersal, what happens? When an animal eats the fruit of a plant, they move to a different location. This movement helps in spreading the seeds with this, and we get a new plant to different location. They also have large and loosely attached anther stigma hanging out of the flower to trap the pollen grains. Now there should be the activity 7 to study insect pollination in flower. Pollination by wind. Pollination by wind, which is known as, another name of pollination by wind is anemophily. Anemophily. In this, flowers of wheat, rice, maize and rye grass are pollinated by wind. Now what should be the characteristics? How they pollinated? The wind pollinated flowers are small, white or dull colored and do not produce nectar. They don't have nectar. They are very dull colored and very lightweight also. Produce small and dry light pollen grains in large number to be carried away by wind. They produce large number of pollen grains which are very light and they can be easily carried away by the wind. Have long anthers extending out of the flower. They have long anthers which are being extending out of the flower. There are only a few flowers that use wind pollination and their features are greenish, small and odorless flowers. As these flowers do not attract the pollinators, their energy is not used for making colorful petals. This type of pollination usually occurs when plants lack flowers with nectar and other features including inconspicuous. The male parts of the Anemophilous flower tend to produce very large quantities of pollen and the stigma. The female reproductive part of a flower are very large, sticky and feathery to extend completely outside the flower. Thus, the pollen is more likely to reach them. Likewise, coconut, palm, maize, grass and all gymnosperm are the best example of wind pollinated plants. You must have seen that your car is fully covered with yellow film in the spring. It is actually the pollen that uses wind for pollination process. So this is how they are being pollinated. Now likewise in this activity to study a wind pollinated flower you should go through that. Now in this what happens? There are a difference between insect pollinated and wind pollinated flower which have to be go through your table. Flowers in insect they are having very large and brightly colored flower to attract insects, while in wind pollinated flower they are inconspicuous and often white in color. They are having a scent or nectar, do not produce scent or nectar. They are large, rough and sticky. They are small, light and dry. Stigmas are sticky and knob-like. Stigmas are large and feathery. Calyx and corolla are well developed and large. They protect essential words. Likewise, calyx and corolla are produced to expose essential word, that is stamens and gynoecium. Pollen grains are produced in small quantity. Pollen grains are produced in very large quantity. Now comes pollination by water, or you can say pollination by water, which is known as hydrophilus. Pollination by water is known as hydrophilus. Water pollination occurs in aquatic plants such as sea, grass, hydrilla and Vallisneria. In Vallisneria, the mature male flowers from male plants detach and float passively on coming in contact with female flower. Their pollen grains are transferred to the stigma by the rupture of anthers. So, by pollination by water, another name is hydrophily. This happens only in aquatic plants where mature male flowers from male part, what happened, they detach and float on the flower and come close to the female flower, and that time their pollen grains are transferred to the stigma of the female flower, which is the rupture of anthers. Now what should be the characteristics of water pollinated flowers? Flowers are small, light for floating. They have male and female flowers present on the separate plants. Male flowers detach from male parts and float on water surface. Pollen grains are produced in large number. So these are the characteristics of pollination by water. Now insect pollinated flowers and wind pollinated flowers, you should always remember the difference that in insect pollinated flowers they are large, brightly colored to attract the insects. They have scent, they are scented, they are nectaries, they are very large, rough and sticky. They are having developed calyx and corolla and they produce large number of pollen grains, whereas wind pollination flowers are very often dull and white color. They do not produce any nectar or scent. They are very small, light and dry. Stigmas are large and feathery and they produce a very large, pollen grains are produced in very large quantity. Calyx and corolla reduce and expose essential words. So till this student I had completed the topic. Now in next video I will be following our last topic of this chapter, that is artificial pollination. After this we will be moving towards the human reproductive system. Till this go through the video and hear the what I am saying. If you had any problem, do ask me. Otherwise, you can go through the videos and the book. Please the homework which I am giving, do it because it is very necessary for you and for me also. Then and only I can understand that you have completed your work in a very nice manner or in a complete manner. So student, here the video once, twice and thrice go through the notes which I had provided, and your book reference is also very must. Till this, thank you.